She was sweet. She baked pies. She smiled a lot. In fact, she smiled when talking about death. They called her the Giggling Granny, a nickname that sounds harmless, almost charming. Until you realize the truth behind that laugh. Nannie Doss, America's laughing serial killer, was no innocent grandmother. Behind her giggle was a body count that spanned decades. So, what turns a Southern housewife into one of the most notorious female serial killers in American history? Get comfortable, because this story will haunt you long after the video ends. Born on November 4, 1905, in Blue Mountain, Alabama, Nannie Doss, born Nancy Hazel, came into a world defined by hardship. Raised on a farm, she had little joy in her childhood. Her father was a strict, controlling man who forced his children to work on the farm instead of attending school. Even worse, when Nannie was just 7, she suffered a head injury during a train ride, a blow that some believe sparked the dark impulses she would later become infamous for. For years after, she suffered severe headaches, blackouts, and depression. Young Nannie found her escape in the pages of romantic magazines, true romance, love confessions, stories of passionate love and happily ever afters. But real life wasn't like the magazines. At just 16, Nannie married for the first time. Her new husband, Charlie Braggs, was a coworker at a linen factory. But romance quickly turned to resentment. Charlie was a drinker, unfaithful, and emotionally distant. Together they had 4 daughters, but tragedy was never far behind. In 1927, 2 of her young daughters died suddenly. The cause? Food poisoning, doctors said. But years later, we'd learned the truth. Nannie had started her killing spree with her own children. Charlie, suspicious and terrified, took their oldest daughter named Melvina and fled, leaving Nannie and their newborn daughter, Florine, behind. Much later, Charlie Bragg's mother died and Nannie took a job in a cotton mill to care for herself and her young daughter. In the following years, Braggs brought back Melvina back in the summer of 1928, and Nannie took her 2 girls back to her own mother's home. You might think the story ends there. It doesn't. In fact, it only begins. Over the next 2 decades, Nannie married and buried a series of unfortunate men. A smooth-talking alcoholic with a violent streak. They married in 1929. By 1945, he was dead. Cause of death? Heart failure, or so it seemed. Years later, Nannie would giggle and confess she spiked his corn whiskey with rat poison. Ali Lanning was husband number 3 and he died mysteriously too. Nannie played the grieving widow perfectly, even moving in with his mother, who also died shortly afterward. Then Ali's house burned to the ground. Richard Morton was husband number 4, a womanizer. Nannie didn't tolerate cheating. He was poisoned not long after she caught him with other women. Samuel Doss was husband number 5 and he was probably the saint of them all. He didn't cheat. He wasn't violent. But he was boring. He wouldn't let Nannie read her romance magazines or watch her favorite TV shows. He wanted a quiet life. Instead, he got a funeral. When Samuel died in 1954, after a mysterious stomach illness, the hospital grew suspicious. His autopsy revealed massive doses of arsenic. Finally, the law caught up with her. Nannie was arrested in 1954, and when questioned, she laughed. She giggled as she described how she killed her husbands, her mother, her sister, her grandson, and even her mother-in-law. Her reason? She said she was looking for the perfect mate. And when they disappointed her, she killed them. All while wearing a smile. Nannie Doss confessed to killing 11 people, but authorities suspect the real number may be much higher. She was sentenced to life in prison, spared the death penalty because she was a woman. Even behind bars, she was known for her cheerfulness, baking pies, and making jokes. In 1965, Nannie Doss died of leukemia in the Oklahoma State Penitentiary. She never expressed remorse. She never stopped smiling. So what makes someone like Nannie Doss? A rough childhood. A head injury. Broken dreams and toxic love. Or was she simply born without a conscience? One thing is certain, the Giggling Granny shattered every stereotype of what a killer looks like. Because sometimes, evil hides behind a kind face and a cheerful laugh. What do you think turned Nannie Doss into a smiling serial killer? Do you believe her head injury played a role? Or was it something much darker beneath the surface? Drop your theories in the comments below, or I'll be reading and responding. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into true crime history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a chilling story from the StoryKeeper. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.